How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to another tank review. Today we're going to talk about the Char Futur 4. This is a tier 9 reward tank that you can get from the battle pass. I done the 777 2 weeks ago. So we're going to go through all of them eventually, at least. I should be getting the Kunze. Actually, wait. Anyway, I'm going to go through all of them. As you probably saw, I don't have the K91 PT, so we're going to have to save that for the next battle pass, unfortunately, but whatever. We'll get it. And yeah, we'll go through the phase next week, and then the Kunze the week after, and then finally, hopefully, we'll get the K91 at some point, and we can review that as well. So we'll go through them all, and yeah, show you what they're all about. So let's head into Tanks GG, and we'll go and compare it to some other tanks and just go through the stats a little bit. Okay, so here we are on Tanks GG. We have the Char, the Batchat, which is probably the closest competitor to it, although they kind of play a little bit differently, but we'll talk about that later on. And then I stuck in the Kunze. It's not really the same, but it's the only other medium tank that's there from the collection, so I just put it in anyway. And we do have the Skoda and the Standard B. So, the Char. As you can see, DPM is the worst. Although it's an autoloader, so you don't really have to worry about that too much, because you do get 1.5k clip potential, nearly 1.6k if you high roll a little bit. So it's not too bad in that respect. Also, you're not reloading for as long as the Batchat. However, you are losing some clip potential because of that. It does take 12 seconds because you have 4 shells to unload all of them. And it does get a 4-second interclip reload, which is... A lot of people are saying that this is bad, but to be fair, you can play around it. And you can actually make this work. And you'll see what I mean when we go and play some gameplay. If you treat this tank as a sniper, it does have an amazingly good gun. So you can afford to snipe and, you know, use that intraclip reload of 4 seconds. Yes, it's long. Yes, you're going to miss out some shots that you wouldn't have in other tanks such as the Batchat or even, you know, especially the Skoda. But 4-second interclip is not the end of the world. You can make it work. You can still have good games. 390 alpha makes it very, very nice. It does mean that you're going to get 150 module damage as well, because of the higher alpha and the higher caliber. Compared to the Batchat, where the caliber is only 100, you get 105. So yes, UDES and S1s you'll be able to overmatch. However, if you meet a 103O or 103B, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Now, if you compare this to the Skoda, you're not going to win in burst damage, because by the time that you fire 2 shots, he would have fired all of his 3 shots and then be going on reload. So yeah, do not... What I'm saying is, you cannot burst in this tank. The burst potential is there, but you're going to have to wait a long time and track people a lot and hope that they don't have improved configuration or something like that. So tracking is your best friend in this tank, and playing at distance is also your best friend, because going up close and going, you know, within that close proximity, especially with other autoloaders, you're just not going to win, because the burst potential just, it doesn't go fast enough. Now, for the gun handling, it is good. It's not great for the actual traverse speed and actual like hidden stats with dispersion and stuff. However, 0.33 standard dispersion and an aim time of 2.1 is good. It's good enough. And this is good enough also, especially when you take into consideration that you can put V-stab on it and you can put vents on it and get smooth ride and all of them. So it will go down to a manageable amount. If you don't care about view range, you can go and forgo optics and actually get IRM or something, which will then increase it even more. So there are ways of making this tank better, but let's face it, the gun is not... For this tank, I would want a complete package, because it doesn't have monstrous DPM. So I would rather have optics on this tank than having IRM, because you can then go and spot the opponents and then deal damage to them and keep them spotted, keep them tracked, hopefully, and deal with them that way. So yeah, it's a strange tank because while you can make it a complete package, it's never going to be something that is a monster in the game because of that 4-second ninja clip. So many times you can just get outplayed because of that longer reload. Gun elevation of 11 is awful, just like 13 is for the Batchat. It's just not nice. You are going to be sitting there looking up at people when you just can't even shoot them. Yeah, it is a pain, but you do get rewarded with 7.5 degrees of gun depression, so that's not too bad. Now, for mobility, it's good enough, I would say. Forward speed of 60, it's not as fast as, say, the Batchat or the Standard B or the Kunzelpanzer. However, a decent power to weight of 22, nearly 23. Yeah, you can make this thing move pretty fast, and that is really, really nice to have. Because considering that the Kunzelpanzer gets less, and also the Standard B gets less, this is nice to have because you are going to need to move around the battlefield and the maps, and it's going to be, you need to work angles that you can be annoying to the enemy and out of render for them, usually. So this ability to have a fast enough tank to actually bomb it around and get into bushes and stuff like that, and play your support role, is nice to have. Terrain resistance and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry about them too much. They are better than majority of the tanks here, so take that for what you will, but honestly, these are good enough. I wouldn't say you need to, you know, do anything like, oh, you must get off-road driving on this tank. You'll be okay without it. You can train other stuff first. Don't worry about it too much. Now, for the armor of this tank, it's a bit weird. When you're looking at it like this, you think it has no armor, and you'd be correct. However, so many times you will just hit this and ricochet off of it. I can't count the amount of times where I've shot at one of these things and it's either just gone into the side, because as you can see, it actually gets pretty decent side armor. And even if they're over angled a bit like this, it's still a bounce. Like, it's still a ricochet. And if you hit the turret here, you're going to bounce. The only thing that stops it is obviously heat, because it doesn't care about the impact of the angle. APCR against these things is a little bit troll, so be careful of that. Always aim for the very smack bang of the turret, and you should be okay. And of course, you could hit the gun and then it'll bounce anyway, but armor of this thing isn't great, okay? Pretend that you don't have any armor. A bit like a Leo. Just play this thing like a Leo, and just pretend that you don't have any armor, so every single person that you see and sees you, pretend that they're going to pen you. That's the best way of dealing with these. If you're playing this, every single shot that comes at you, I think that it's going to pen, because chances are it probably will. Stationary camera of 16 is good enough. It's pretty decent for a little, medium tank. Pretty low profile as well, so yeah, that's decent. And also after firing camo is nice as well, so nothing really to worry about in the camo department, especially while moving. 12 is really nice. Definitely not like the Skoda where it gets nearly 9. View range of 380 lets it down a little bit. It would be nice if this had 400 meters base view range, but what are you going to do? 380 will have to do. Now, for a fire chance of 10%, actually really nice and really good, especially compared to the Batchat of 20. It's exactly the same as the Skoda and Standard B, so just keep that in mind. You're not necessarily going to get set on fire with every single shot if they, hit your engine or something like that. So that's nice to know. Okay, so for the equipment on this tank, and also some of the crew skills, but we'll move into crew skills more in the actual game. So vents is a must, but also V-stab is a must. As you can see, V-stab really does help out quite a fair amount. Now, this is obviously without using food or anything like that. The last one is down to you and how you want to play the tank, because you could choose IRM and then that will increase it even more and get it down to really, really nice levels for you. However, the way that I like to play it is with coated optics, because then you get 428 view range. And if you use situational awareness and brothers in arms and recon, you then get 462 meters without using any food. So those of you that are free to play, or you just don't like using food, this is a nice tank for you, because you get all your view range, you don't have to worry about it. It's nice to have. However, if you use IRM, you're going to be moving down to 420 meters, and you're going to pretty much have to use food if you want to get anywhere close to that kind of view range that you would want to have. And view range is quite important for this tank, to be able to spot for yourself and then deal with the damage. So I would rather have optics than have a little bit better dispersion and gun handling. I can work around it, especially as you're not always going to be kind of turning the tank loads and trying to get off flick shots and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that that's the best all-round package. And as you can see, with food, you go to 483. So obviously, to go to the crew skills, brothers in arms, recon, situational awareness, the main ones that you want, as always. Also, Sixth Sense, but that goes without saying, hopefully. If you do want a full crew skill guide, I do have one up in the top right corner now. You can also choose Smooth Ride and Snapshot, and this will improve it even more. You combine that with IRM, and you go down to really, really nice dispersion levels. And if you want to use some bounty stuff, for example, let's use bounty V-Stab, and we could use bounty IRM as well. It's then going to, thank you. It's then going to put it down to really, really good levels. 0.09 is beautiful. Yeah, this is very, very nice to have. And then obviously with bounty vents, you're going to get closer to that 442 or 445 meters view range that you're going to be wanting to have. So you could do this, add a vent directive purge as well. And then you'll get to 447. And that's really nice. That's probably the best way that you can have it set up without using bonded equipment. Or you could just go for pure view range. And in that case, then you get 500 meters and decent dispersion on the move as well. So a few ways that you can set it up. I wouldn't really recommend anything else. The only other, you could go with a bounty aiming directive, but you know, it's not really worth it, right? Because you might as well just get the dispersion a little bit better and do that rather than going with the bounty aiming, because the bounty aiming only increases the accuracy of it, whereas it's already good enough at 0.29. Usually that's enough to hit most things that you're going to be shooting at, and the dispersion is going to really help out the most compared to aiming. But let's head into the garage and talk more about these crew skills, because some of them aren't on here, especially intuition, which is super useful on this tank. Okay, so here we are back in game, and as you can see, the Batchat crew fits perfectly into this tank. So you can move your Batchat crew straight from the Batchat into this, it will work completely fine. Now, for the crew skills, the one thing that I want to say is that intuition is your best friend on this tank. This is everything that I have. Move this over a slight bit. There we go. That is the full crew that I have on this tank. So intuition is going to allow you to switch in between your shells. So if, for example, you are, you're loading APCR, you get it loaded, all of a sudden a Type 4 or Type 5 heavy comes around the corner, quickly tap 2, it will take maybe 4 seconds, 5 seconds to fully reload your clip, and then you can go and fire your heat rounds into it. So it's super nice, especially because this tank, its reload time is a bit long. So instead of waiting 30 seconds, waiting 5, it's pretty nice. Now, one more thing that I do want to mention is that you do get the better standard large repair kit. It does 15% to module repair speed, whereas it would do 10% usually, and you would have to pay 20,000 credits a pop each time that you use it, or each battle that you use it. Doesn't actually count every single time, otherwise that would be an expensive battle. But yeah, 15% compared to 10%, and this is completely free. You don't have to purchase this at all. As you can see here, it is just completely free to use. You can use it as many times as you like. It still gets a 90-second cooldown, but it's completely free and will repair everything on your tank as soon as you click it. The exact same as the 7772, the Kunze Phase 1, and it's here as well. So that's a nice thing to have. For the ammo loadout, we do have the 2012. It doesn't get a lot of rounds. It gets 32 rounds, and the HE rounds aren't great. You might as well just not even bother with them, because chances are most of the time you're going to be firing APCR, which gets great shell velocity at 1.4k and nearly 1.5, and then you get good heat rounds at 330 heat with 1k, which is decent enough for heat. So yeah, that's what we're going to be rolling out with. Anyway, speaking of rolling out, let's go and play a game, shall we? Alright, so Murovanka, not too bad. What I'm going to do first off is actually go to the back here. The reason being is that I don't want to get spotted early on. Right, and also, I should be able to snipe any light tanks that are trying to make an aggressive push early on in the game. So we have nearly reloaded. As you see, the dispersion isn't too bad. It is a tier 10 game as well, so we need to keep that in consideration. But I'm just going to start off here, wait for someone to make a mistake, and then hopefully we can punish them for it. Especially if one of them goes into like one of these bushes. So 9.7 seconds it is to reload this mag, which is a hell of a lot better than 33 or whatever it is. Was it 35 seconds? Yeah, 35 seconds to reload it, right? Okay, this is a little bit interesting because there's no one here. VZ51. Okay, let's try and be a little bit annoying here. I don't want to peek like too far forwards, although because the CS hasn't been spotted, I'm assuming that there's no one here. Which is a little bit weird actually, because usually there's someone in here. I don't want to knock over any bushes, I want to try and stay as hidden as I can. Knock over any bushes, any trees. Let me shoot the VZ. No. Looks like they're being a little bit passive. And just playing defensive. Usually there's someone back here that will just camp. Like right at the back around here. We don't have shots on the 140, so there's no point. Is the super conch moving? He's sort of moving, but we don't have shots, so we're going to have to just be patient, I guess. We're going to just have to wait. Because the worst thing that you can do in this tank is just rush forwards and die. Because you don't have the clip to be able to just dish out suddenly 1,000 damage when you get taken by surprise or whatever. I'm joking. I'm going for a reload. We get a little bit unlucky there, but it's fine. I really didn't want to be sitting around there for too long. I knew that we could probably take one more shot and then we'd have to move. STB1. As well over there. Got 10 seconds though before I can do anything. Apparently we're spotting the T-54 lightweight. Reload again, and we hired. We can knock down as many trees as we like now because we're spotted. Right? So there we go. We just hired again. I'm not too sure what spotted us. I guess the T-54 lightweight? But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we can shoot the SDB. I mean, there is a shot there, but it's not really worth taking. Like, I like this gun, but I don't fancy my chances for that. Tell you what we could do, though. We're way out of the... Ooh, what are you doing, friend? Yeah. Whatever. We're way out the view range of everyone over here, so... we can actually progress forwards a little bit. If we just manage to stay back. And just keep majority of them out of the view range. 140 can spot us. It's just whether or not he's looking over this way. One into him. Did we get spotted? Nope. One into him. Can we finish, please? Nice. Okay. 1.9k so far, or 2k basically so far, which is good. And we are now going to push forwards to try and get some more damage because the game is pretty much over at this stage. We do have 20k though. 20k? Hello? 20 seconds on the reload. So, yeah, not really much can happen. There are a few chars right at the back of the map, so we could use that to our advantage. Repair that. Go for the reload. I wanted to try and take the extra shot, but I probably would have ended up dying, and if I get tracked again there, I'm dead. It's not worth it. But I do want to try and get some more damage out of this if I can. Okay, 3.3k is not too bad. Yeah, not a bad result for this little tank. 3 kills as well. Okay. I'll tell you what, we can apply that as well and moves ourselves on towards the field mods. So that's quite nice. We come second on damage. Not too bad, especially a tier 10 game. And especially towards the end. We probably could have got a little bit more out of it if we didn't play so kind of rash with some of the shots, but that's decent. Okay, we'll play one more game and then come to the end of the review. So, yeah. One more game in the chart. Alright, another tier 10 game. Yeah, and when... oh well. Another thing I do want to mention, with this light, it actually changes colour depending on the camo. And it used to get a lot brighter, where it would like, you could actually see like it was kind of on, almost, but not anymore. So we're going to go up this side and we're going to just play as a sniper. We don't have to really do much. We can just relax and just chill for a little bit. We have enough view range to potentially spot any light tanks if they want to bomb it around in the middle, but there's no light tanks to do that. So yeah. Let's see. See if this 140 spots anyone that's up the top here. Although we wouldn't be able to actually see them, but we could shoot them on out of our render. Really? I mean, come on, man. Like, what? Ugh. I love the people that play this game. Yeah. Right. We're now going to push forwards because our team's pushing forwards. It's pointless me sitting back up there. We got one shot into the Leo, which was nice. So that's that done. Fran is in the middle. We need to be careful of that, because that will be very bad for us. He's also taken a lot of hits, so that tells me that there's a lot of people behind him. The Quran will not fire that fast. That's unlucky. That's actually really unlucky. Oh. Okay, we're not going to go for the reload. We're actually just going to continue. We might be able to spot someone there. If we get spotted, then we know that there's someone other than the FE there. Nope. Which means that there's someone at the very back of the map. Or at least a few people at the very back of the map. So hopefully we might be able to even spot them if we push up a little bit and then back down. No, but they spot us in return. Okay, well, we just wait then, I guess. Because the Centurion will end up spotting them. Can't actually like shoot them because they're out of it. Ugh. I don't have it. I don't have the height to be able to deal with him. That's annoying. Okay. In that case then, we're going to go forwards. We need to go back to base at some point. However, what I want to try and do is go around this way. Standard B will get spotted going this way anyway. And my team should be able to hold it for now, at least. But I want to try and get rid of some of these that are just going to be sitting at the very back. Track him once. And we go back now. We're going to fire our last shot into the standard B. Unless he's going all the way back. No, he's going to be coming back up. This Udas is actually stock. Come help me, Udas. Come. Feels bad, man. That Udas being stock is not a nice thing to endure. Stock Udas 16 is just horrible. A fully upgraded Udas 16 is horrible. Like, a stock one's not going to help. I can actually shoot this. Okay, go for the reload. And we're going to try and get some more shots off on him. It's nice that our team managed to hold that, actually. That's really nice. T10 is there. The only downside to this tank, really, is just the long reload. Whether that be just intra-clip or, you know, the long reload to reload everything. The first shell cannot go through that. Hope I don't get one more. You're joking. Nice. Okay. Well, 3.4k is good. Yeah. Nice. Not a bad game. That pretty much shows you everything about the tank because, yeah, we managed to reload okay. Right, so we can apply that. We actually get 3.8k, so we hit someone blind. I'm guessing right at the start. Who did we hit blind? We hit the Leo, but that counted. Leo PTA we actually hit once. Because we never shot at him again. Alright. Nice. A good game. Overall, we come second on damage again. Gorilla had a good game. Yeah, 3.8k is decent It is very, very nice. And we even completed the battle pass. So over those 2 games, we averaged nearly basically 3.6k average, which is what I was averaging overall anyway. So, yep, shows you that I still managed to actually play well in this thing. It's a good tank, and as long as you know how to play it right, it's a great little tank actually. I like this thing. It's a good. It is nice. It's definitely better than the 777, like, because this no DPM, you know, armor that does work but doesn't at higher tier, whereas this you can just rely on the gun, and as long as you get into the correct positions and you figure out when you reload, when it's time to not reload, and so on, this is a good tank. It's probably not good for the new players. Like, you might as well choose a phase 1 or, you know, one of these if you're brand new to the game and just learning. But once you understand medium tanks and sniping medium tanks, especially like the Leo, this is going to be good for you. It is a very, very nice tank. I like this thing. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy the review. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it does all help me out greatly. And let me know what you think about this tank. Whether or not you think that this tank is completely awful, like the 4-second intricate reload just ruins the tank, the reload's too long, doesn't have enough DPM. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.